Here's a sneak peek of Deathwalker. This is not a full episode, but while investigating all new locations, I decided to journey off the path and spend the night at a haunted jail that I researched years ago. Here's the raw footage from my experience. Situated in the heart of DeRidder, Louisiana, is a medieval structure known as the Gothic Jail. This infamous location is said to still hold the energy and emotions of those who were murdered and executed within its walls. Reports of hauntings date back decades. Shadow figures, people being touched, unexplainable voices, and poltergeist activity continue to frighten the living. I will reside within the jail for 24 hours to determine if the spirits inhabiting this building are capable of physically lashing out at the living.
The jail here was built in 1914, along with our courthouse next door, and it was built in what was back then known as no man's land to try to bring some law and order to the land around here. And throughout the years, the jail became known as the hanging jail because of a murder that occurred in 1926 of a local taxi cab driver. Joe Gina and Moulton Brasso held this local taxi cab driver, J.J. Breville, took him out east of town and brutally murdered him to steal his taxi cab and $14. When they did, they were caught, brought back here to the jail, and put on trial next door. But on March 9th of 1928, they were both hung here within the walls of the jail. In this location, there's been physical attacks, disembodied voices, shadow figures, other noises, pebbles being thrown. A lot of crazy activity goes on the walls of this jail. I'm just wondering, are you brave enough to spend the night in here, by yourself, alone, within the walls of the jail?
I guess so. Yes, I'm up for a challenge, so absolutely. It's totally different when you walk inside a jail like this that has so much history of just death and also executions that were right here. 2 people hung to their death right in the middle of this jail to send a message to all the other inmates, all the other people, to know, if you do something wrong, this is what's going to happen. It was a different time, different era, but this is a location that holds so much energy, a lot of residual energy too. And it's just really fascinating to me to try to dig back into the past and pull those layers back into what our reality right now. And we thought we'd just stop by, not to shoot a whole episode revolving around this location, but just to investigate for a night. We couldn't pass this up. I said, man, we can't miss it. It's on our journey. It's a little bit off the beaten path, but we got to stop in here for the night. There's a lot of mystery behind the death. There's a lot of stuff that hasn't been talked about. So maybe we can discover something new. So I'm going to stay the night here once Justin leaves. I'm going to spend the night here by myself. When you're vulnerable, isolated, all alone in a jail like this with so much history, who knows what's going to happen? That's a point of being an investigator. You embed yourself into the environment. You become a part of the spiritual activity that's revolving around all this energy that's still trapped here. And that's what I want to do. I want to put myself into the situation that the inmates were put into. I want to sleep on the bed. I want to feel the energy. I want to document the evidence. We got to push the paranormal forward. The way to do that is you put yourself into these situations. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. And we're going to see if we can discover or document any more evidence. I'm going to try to use our GeoPort audio device to get intelligent responses. I heard there's entities that like to physically attack people or try to touch them. Can you physically make contact with me? Can you try to reach out, touch my shoulder? My arm? Can you try to reach out and touch me? My arm, my shoulder, can you physically make contact with me? Let me know that you're here. We come here out of respect so we can speak to the jailer who's overseeing the inmate. I think it's a jailer. Now, I'll tell you what, when you're walking around here in the dark, it starts messing with your eyes a little bit. Do you notice that?
Right, I see some shadow figures.
Yeah, I know. I look this way, I'm like, is there a figure standing there? And then I'll walk over to where I see this figure, like here, and I don't see anything. You know? It kind of has that illusion in here where you kind of see like into the darkness and you're like, wait a second, am I actually perceiving that? Am I seeing what I'm seeing? Then I'll walk right to it and it disappears. Inmates, people that are put on trial, are you waiting for the judge to see you? It's so weird, they would sit here and see the courthouse right out the window and just wait trial.
Waiting your fate.
It's crazy, man.
It doesn't smell like any other places. It smells like a donut.
It does. Oh, yeah.
It smells like chocolate glazed donuts.
It smells like chocolate glazed donuts. That's the best.
Doesn't it smell like that?
It does. It really does.
It does. I'm serious.
All right, right now we just walked in this room, and earlier it didn't smell the best.
Anything like this.
It didn't smell like this at all.
It smells like chocolate.
But Justin just validated for me what I smelled, and I thought it was just me. And it does smell like we walked into a donut factory, where it's like they're making the donuts. It smells like chocolate frosted glazed donuts.
It smells amazing.
It smells really good right now in here. And if there's an inmate in here that's making donuts, we would like some. So we're here. That's weird, right?
It is. I mean, look at the floor of this.
Yeah, I know, it's dirty.
All over the floor, and yet it smells like chocolate in here.
That's the grossest. You had me at donuts, you lost me at bird shit, all right? Oh my God. It's so bizarre how it like...
This is the room where everyone's supposed to feel sick. Right?
Yeah, I feel happy right now because the donut situation is making me excited.
When we were in here earlier, it just felt like I was getting a headache in here.
Yeah, I felt like a oppressive feeling up in here. Like it was really sad. It definitely felt like you were rocking on a boat and you felt off balance, but now it's just like, it's weird. Joe or Mullen, are you in here? Was this where you were kept before you were executed on the gallows right out here? I heard that they built the gallows just specifically for you. It's sad what you did to that person, murdered them. You were brought here, you were executed right there. Are you still here with me? Can we see you? Can you close the door? Can you try to reach out, hit my arm, grab my arm? Try to reach out and just grab onto my arm like that. No? Can you scream as loud as you can if you're down there? Can you yell out so I can hear you? Did you know Joe or Malton? Both? Man said both. What were you brought in here for? How long? Did you do something to get brought in here? That was a voice right there. You heard that, right? It was a spirit voice. It makes me realize how short life is, how quick life is like that, and how you should appreciate every second that you're breathing, living, and pursuing your passion for whatever you love to do, because life can be taken from you, or it's the choices we make in life that can disrupt our future, disrupt anything that's going on. And these two individuals right here that were executed made a choice, killing somebody that had them brought here for that reason. They were captured, brought here, executed right there. Forever their lives changed. I'm all by myself inside this jail, alone, right underneath where two people were executed. Death, tragedy, so many different things that occurred here. I'm sleeping by myself, but I'm just kind of investigating this whole entire area. I feel when you're alone and isolated, more things happen. I'm going into this jail cell right here. It's really creepy. I don't know if you can see it. Is there anyone in here that wants to communicate with me? If you can reach out, just try to stop me. Grab my shoulder, hit my hand, do something to let me know that you're here with me. Are you in there? I've been using a ton of different devices while I've been investigating all day, through the day into the night. And it's always bizarre when you're all by yourself. I'm waiting for maybe somebody to reach out, grab me on the shoulder. Can you try to touch me? Get my attention, let me know that you're here. Making my way up to the top floor. I think I'm gonna be sleeping on the top floor just because so much activity has happened up there, and also there's just been a lot of physical contact in certain areas in here. Like over here in this room. Right behind me. Oh my God. That was really loud. That was so loud. That startled me. Where did that come from? I think that came from in here. Are you in here? I just heard you. That was so loud. Whatever you did, can you do that again? Can you make that noise again? That noise was so loud. It definitely came from in here. If you're in here, can you try to reach out, grab my arm? I just heard you make that noise. Or were you out here? Did you move out here now? Are you back in there? That was really loud, whatever that was. It sounded like a jail door slamming shut or something just hitting these beds. I'm trying to figure out where it came from. I swear it came from over here. I'm up on the 3rd floor. Some of the worst inmates were kept. Next to the gallows right here. And I just heard that noise so loud. Did you make that noise back here? Who was that? Was it one of the prisoners? Was it Joe? One who was executed? Walton? Alright, this is the room I'm gonna be sleeping in. I would have heard those sounds captured and document some of the evidence if I didn't stay here longer. You know, I was trying to put myself in the environment of sleeping here, and that was painful to sleep on right there. It's so painful to sleep in this little metal slab of a bed, just on that bed sheet, but I had to put myself in the environment and kind of go through what the prisoners would go through in here, document any more evidence that occurred. So just being in this jail cell, going through kind of the rhythm that those inmates would go through, you know, it just reminds you how crazy life can be and how fast it can be.
After investigating overnight, I theorized that the negative energy stemming from the traumatic situations that the prisoners felt on a daily basis was released into the environment, causing an imprint of these events to play back in our reality over and over again. This would explain the loud knocks I heard at random times by the ghosts of those that were likely unaware of my presence and their new surroundings. My journey continues into the unknown, documenting evidence from beyond.